Let's create some journal pages with a Disney twist. Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and today I want to work on some guided journaling pages, just pre-decorating them for my guided journal. And I grabbed some Disney stickers because I don't use these very often, and I thought, you know what, let's grab these and play with these. It's fun to grab things from your stash, and I want to encourage you to do that. So we're just going to have a casual plan with me. I hope you guys enjoy the process. Let's go. Okay, the pages that I am decorating are part of the guided journal insert that I have available over in my shop. And they mirror other guided journal inserts, things that you see from the Happy Planner, in that there's some structure. And I think sometimes it is challenging to decorate a page that has a little bit more structure to it, just because you're not sure how some of these stickers that perhaps were designed for very specific planner layouts, how you can make them work in these pages, and how do you add decorative elements without losing the writing space, and how does that work? And I think it can be intimidating. It certainly was for me when I first started using the Happy Planner guided journals. They are super cute and fun, but I never knew where the decorating could go. And I love the decorating part. You certainly don't have to decorate any of these pages. They are designed for you to just be able to use right out of the box, just to write and have fun. Maybe add a little washi, maybe use some of your colored pens and markers. That works too. But I do enjoy the process of decorating these, and it makes me really happy to have these pre-decorated in my planner or in my hobby planner, so that I can just open up to them when I'm ready to write and really just go for it. So here is what I'm going to try to show you. I'm trying to show you how you can add little bits of decor. You can cover up boxes. You have to think a little bit outside the lines when you are decorating these. It helps if you have things that go in the margins, if you break the lines of the page, meaning go out of the box, have things bleed from one side to the other. That is just what really makes it work for the decorating part of this whole process. It also helps if you keep in mind being flexible, meaning adapting for how you might use this in a different way on different days. So on this particular layout, there's always a question. This one says, what's your favorite childhood memory of being creative? I love the question prompts because sometimes in my journaling, I can get a little bit what I would call whiny. I can write all the things that are going on, all the things that are bothering me, and I don't know. I feel like I don't dig deep. I just end up whining a bunch, and no one likes whining, even in your journal. So I like having the prompts there, but I don't always have to I don't always have to address the prompt in the same place. Meaning, am I going to write it on the lines? Am I going to use these boxes as an opportunity to write those childhood memories? I don't always have to have the gratitude or the highlight section. You can change it up depending on the day, and that's one of the creative parts of this particular outlet. You don't have to follow the formula each and every day. And if you give yourself permission to change it up, to cover up a prompt every now and then, to take up a little bit of the writing space, or to go off the page, maybe even add an additional page if you need some more writing room on a particular day. If you give yourself permission to think outside the box in that way, you'll end up having a little bit more fun and feeling a little bit more free when you're working in any of the guided journals that are out there. I also find these single pages to be just a great opportunity to use sticker books I haven't used in a while. I don't feel the pressure of having to use it for the whole week. Like, I don't always want my planner decorated in Disney for a whole week. I tend to just save them for when I have a very specific need, like my family's going to Disney or a special holiday, something like that. But I do like Disney, and I like seeing it every now and then. So using those types of books on these guided guided journal pages or on daily planning pages. It's a fun way to use the books you love, but maybe wouldn't grab for a full week spread or for full month spread. It's also a great way to play with some of your newer books. I know that when I get a new sticker book, sometimes I feel a little intimidated. I don't know quite how I want to use it. I'm not up on what that sticker book looks like. Like it just looks a little bit different to me. And so creating a single page entry, either on a journaling page or a daily page, something like that, takes the pressure off. It allows me to kind of flip through the book, play with it a little, see what washi tape might match well with it before I commit to making a full weekly spread. There's something about putting together the full week that feels like, I mean, it's a spread you're going to see every single day, or a month spread. That one you're going to see over and over for a whole month. So there's a little bit more pressure on those, but on a page that you're just using for a day, if it doesn't turn out well, it's okay. You just, you're going to write on it for one day and then you're going to flip to the next page. So it gives you more chances. It's like getting extra swings of the bat in baseball. Another great thing to do with these pages as far as decorating is to choose your use it up stickers. I like having some sticker sheets or piles of stickers that are kind of in the use it up category, like use it or lose it. Grab these stickers first, use them, or it's time to get rid of them, because those pages, if you're pulling them out of your sticker books, or if you just have pages from smaller sticker shops, those pages tend to have less stickers on them. And so you don't have maybe enough to do a full weekly spread, but you have enough where you didn't want to toss it. Use those on pages like this, on your bullet journal, on those smaller entries, and it allows you to kind of play with those stickers, get them used so you don't feel like you wasted any of your money or anything like that, but you get to still appreciate that sticker and finally finish up a few pages here and there in your sticker books. Okay, I'm currently working with the Up stickers. I think Up might be my favorite Pixar movie of all time. I love Up. It's such a good movie. It like makes my heart explode. I love the characters. It's a great movie. I'd love to hear, what is your favorite Pixar movie? There's so many good ones. I mean, Finding Nemo, that's a great one too. There's so many really good Pixar movies. I think maybe I prefer Pixar over the classic Disney films, the princess films and things like that. I don't know. Little Mermaid will always have a special place in my heart because that was my jam growing up. Like I was the target audience when The Little Mermaid first came out, and so it's gonna always hold a special place. But I feel like the Pixar movies take over, and Up is one that I absolutely love. So another hint on decorating this type of layout and making stickers work, you may notice I'm cutting stickers. I'm cutting them in half. I'm cutting them smaller to make them work on my spread. Don't be afraid to cut your stickers up. Don't be afraid to change what they look like, layer them in a different way. Again, it's that thinking outside the box. I wanted that rainbow stripe to be in that place, so I just cut it so it would fit. And look, I'm using the leftover bits that I cut off as like little washi strips and adding rainbow stripes on other sections of the page. You have to make it work for you. I would also just like to say, I feel like the addition of the scalloped washi tape just really made this page come together. I love scalloped washi. It's so good. I like that it's not just another, it just adds a different line. We so often work with boxes and boxy things when we do planning. So it's nice to have something that kind of breaks up that line a little bit, and the scallops are perfection. Love those. I also wanted to say, when you are decorating this type of page, definitely do it in batches. Try not to do just one page, but do several pages at a time, because I also find that when I'm working with these pages, I kind of get into a little bit of a flow and I get some different ideas and I try new things when I'm doing multiple ones at a time. It's just, it kind of gets the creative juices flowing. And if you're only doing one, you don't really have the time to get all of those creative juices flowing. You know what I mean? So, when you sit down to work in your journals, in any of the guided notebooks, anything like that, take the time to do several pages because I think you'll see you start to get into a little bit of a groove that feels really good. You may even want to go back and change some of the first pages that you decorate just because you get a better understanding of that particular layout. I tend to do like 3 of these front and back at a time, and then I have them in my planner. And then I also learn as I'm using them. So as I'm actually writing in them, I learn some other things like, hey, I actually do need more writing space, or oh, I don't use this little section kind of ever, so I can feel free to cover it up. That type of thing. You'll learn from the actual use of it. So going back and forth between decorating a batch and then using a batch helps you get to know the layout a little bit better. And that's the truth for any planner layout. It's going to take a little time to get to know the layout, to get used to it, to see how you like to use it. No planner layout is going to be perfect. No journal layout is going to be perfect. You're going to want to make some changes to make it really personal to you, because when a layout or a journal is personal to you, it's going to have a bigger impact. Okay, this page was a fun challenge to like just stick to this color scheme to kind of limit myself, especially when it came to the Incredibles, because the light blue, not typically an Incredibles color. So I liked kind of limiting myself. That's another great way to kind of narrow it down on these 1-page spreads, is to limit the colors. Like, are you going to do just a monochromatic spread? Are you just going to do a couple of different colors? Instead of embracing the rainbow, which normally I'm all about using all the colors, limit it down to just 1, maybe 2 colors, or even I'm going to do pastels, or I'm going to do royal jewel tone colors, something like that. Just makes it easy to kind of change it up, and having those different kind of colorways within your guided journal make it more interesting as you're flipping through. Okay, on this next one, I had the right idea, but I don't know that I followed through in the best possible way. I love this particular sticker. It says, keep dreaming. I love the black border around it. I love the rainbow. You guys know I love a good rainbow. I wanted to bring some of the silhouette fish behind it, little Dory and Nemo action behind it. And then after I had that section, I love that, I wanted to bring in some more boxes. And I thought, well, it would be fun to mirror the black border that is on the sticker I first chose, to mirror that on different boxes around the spread, because it would bring kind of a unified feeling. And actually, I'm even going to cover up the date, because I'm going to be able to find a place to write the date. But where I went wrong was I just used too thin of a black marker. Like, I should have gone bold, and I didn't. So it's like the right idea because it's all going to mirror, but I need to go back and just make that thicker so it really does look like it's the same type of sticker with the border. Or I could have even used a little scrapbook paper. I could have matted those particular stickers on scrapbook paper and cut out the border that way and then put them on the paper. That would have been cool as well. I'm not in love with how this particular page came out, but again, it was trying something, doing something a little bit different. And even though I don't love it, it's just 1 page. So I can just write on it for a day and that will be fine. And then I can move on from there. I learned a quick lesson of what I would do differently in the future. And that's going to help me when I'm decorating other spreads or other projects in the future as well. All right, a couple more little moments for this one. And then to be completely honest, I think the last spread that I did is my favorite spread. It just comes out really well. And I think it's because I limited the colors. I think was the way to go. So we're going to do like a black, white, and that Tiffany blue color. Going to bring those into the spread, mostly black and white, with just hints of the Tiffany blue. I don't usually use those vertical boxes, but look how well that fits in that area. And then this one, I can just bring it down a little low. I love how, you'll have to let me know. I did a lot of different spreads in this one. There were a couple different Mickey spreads. This is my Mickey Tiffany blue spread. There was Nemo, there was Up. There were several different ones. But this one, I think, is the best. And this is what I'm saying about decorating in batches, because I really started to feel like I was in the groove, like things were making sense and this was going to work really well. So I'm glad that I kept going, that I didn't stop at just 4 pages. When I did the next couple of pages, A, I learned a lesson on the last one, and B, I really love how this one came out. So this is a pattern that I'm going to repeat again. Okay, a few more little moments on this page, and then that's going to be it for this journal with me. I hope you enjoyed hanging out while I do these pages. I do use several different types of journal, a bullet journal, guided journal pages, because I never know what I am going to want to journal in a particular day. So I like having the options ready, and decorating these pages in advance always helps me out. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. I have the supplies that I used linked down below in the description box. The guided journal pages are from my website, ScrappyWife.com. And of course, all the Disney stickers are from the Happy Planner. I do want to give a huge shout out to my Patreon community. Patreon is a wonderful place to support your favorite creators and receive a bunch of extra perks and content. If you are interested in finding out more, you can head to patreon.com/ScrappyWife. All right, I hope that you have a fabulous day. And as always, keep it creative.